Hello everyone, my name is Kavyansh
And I am Kushagra.
and we are the students of Happiness Center of MIT University. Today, we are going to do a small discussion on the topic mental health and its difficulties in student life.
Being a student can be exhilarating, but it also comes with its fair share of sternness. From academic pressure to social expectations, the journey through education can take a toll on a mental well being. Today, we'll uncover the realities of the challenges and discuss strategies for maintaining mental health and amidst the chaos.
Now, let me ask you what are some common mental health struggles that students face?
Well, students often experience anxiety related to academic performance, social pressure, and the uncertainty of future. Depression is also a prevalent, stemming from a feeling of loneliness, isolation, or inability to cope with stress.
Now, one more question. How can students recognize when they need might help?
It is very essential for students to pay attention to changes in their mood, sleep patterns, and overall behavior. Feeling overwhelmed or hopeless, withdrawing from friends and activities, or experiencing physical symptoms like headaches or fatigue could indicate need for a support.
Okay. What are some practical steps that student can take to prioritize their mental health?
Uh, Establishing a routine, setting realistic goals, and practicing self care are crucial. Additionally, reaching out the trusted friends, family members, and campus resources for a support can make a significant difference.
Now, let's talk about the stigma surrounding mental health. How can we work to break down these barriers?
Education and open dialogue are the key. By fostering environments where students feel safe to discuss their struggle without fear of judgment, we can reduce stigma and encourage help seeking behavior.
Now, as we wrap up, what's the final message would you like to leave our listeners with?
Remember that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your mental health matters, and there are resources and people available to support you through any challenges you may face.
Now, I would like to tell you some tips to maintain good mental health according to student life. Student needs proper sleep, should eat healthy food, do proper exercise, and set realistic goals. Spend time with friends. These were some basic needs that students need to maintain their basic mental health. Now, I would like to thank you everyone. That was all for today. We hope you'll like it and got some useful information. And we'll see you in next episode. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
There comes a time when we don't feel the greatest. We're feeling down, emotions don't feel right. It's so important to check our well-being. In so much darkness, you can still find light. There's always someone you can talk to. There's always someone who cares. If you have feelings you can't handle, there's always someone who cares. If you're not feeling the best, just slow it down, take some breaths. Your friends and family can give you support. Take a walk by yourself, it's all about mental health. You have so much to be grateful for. There's always someone you can talk to.
Hello everyone, my name is Ketan Mangla and along with me is Paramveer Singh.
Hello.
We are students of Amity Happiness Center of Amity University. Today we are going to do a small discussion on the topic stress management. Let's jump right in. Stress is something we all experience, but what exactly is it and how does it impact our lives?
Stress is the body's natural response to perceived threat or challenges. With it can be helpful in certain situations. Chronic stress can have determined effect on our physical and mental health. It can manifest in various ways, including muscle tension, irritation, anxiety, or even insomnia.
With stress being so prevalent, it's essential to have effective strategies for managing it. What are some practical techniques a listener can implement in their daily lives to reduce stress?
One powerful technique in mindfulness meditation: by practicing mindfulness, we can learn to cultivate present moment awareness and develop a great sense of calm and clarity. Other effective strategies include deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and engage in activities that bring joy and relaxation, such as spending time in nature or practicing hobbies.
Those are great suggestions. It's important to find techniques that resonate with us individually. How can listeners incorporate these stress management practices into their daily routines?
I recommend starting with just few minutes or practicing each day and gradually increasing the duration as you become more comfortable. It can also be helpful to schedule time for stress management activities just as you would schedule any other important task. Remember, taking care of your mental health is just as important as attending to your physical health.
Absolutely. Prioritizing self care is essential for overall well being. Before we wrap up, do you have any final tips or advice for our listeners?
I would encourage listeners to approach stress management with an open mind and spirit of curiosity, exploring different techniques and finding what works best for you. And remember, it's okay to ask for help if you are struggling, whether it's reaching out to a trusted friend, family member, or a mental health professional. Support is available.
Thank you, Paramveer, for sharing your expertise with us today. And thank you to our listeners for turning in. Remember, you have the power to cultivate calm and resilience in the face of stress.
That
And
concludes today's podcast. Thank you everyone for listening to with that much patience. We hope you all like it and got some useful information.
There comes a time when we don't feel the greatest. We're feeling down, emotions don't feel right. It's so important to check our well-being. In so much darkness, you can still find light. There's always someone you can talk to. There's always someone who cares. If you have feelings you can't handle, there's always someone who cares. If you're not feeling the best, just slow it down, take some breaths. Your friends and family can give you support. Take a walk by yourself, it's all about mental health. You have so much to be grateful for. There's always someone you can talk to.
Hello everyone. My name is Kushagra.
And my name is Ikjot Singh Saini.
Today we are going to do a small podcast on the topic mental health and difficulties in corporate life. Let's dive in. Many of you know that spend a significant portion of our lives working in corporate environments. But what are some of the mental health challenges employees commonly encounter?
One of the most prevalent challenges is the pressure to perform at a consistently high level, whether it's meeting tight deadlines, exceeding targets, or navigating office's politics. This relentless pursuits of success can take a toll on a mental well-being. Additionally, long working hours and a lack of work-life balance contributes to stress burnout among employees.
Now tell me that it's clear that the demands of corporate life can be overwhelming. How can the employees recognize their mental health is being impacted, and what steps they can take to address it?
Recognizing the signs of mental health issue is crucial. This can include feeling constantly fatigued, experiencing changes in mood or appetite, or struggle to concentrate. Once these signs are identified, it's essentially for employees to prioritize self-care, set boundaries, and seek support from trustworthy colleagues, friends, and mental health professionals.
Absolutely. Creating a supportive work environment is essential for promoting employee well-being. Now, what are the roles can employee plays in addressing mental health challenges in workplace?
Employers can have responsibility to prioritize the mental health of their employees. These can be achieved through implementing politics that supports work life balance, providing access to mental health resources and support services, and forecasting a culture of open communication and physical psychological safety. By investing in employees well-being, organization can only not only improve morally and productively but also reduce turnover and abstinence.
That's an important point. By prioritizing mental health, both employees and employers stand to benefit. Now, before we can wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or advice for our listeners?
I would like to encourage my listeners to remember that their mental health is just important as their professional success. It's okay to prioritize self-care and set boundaries even in high pressure corporate environment. And you are if you are struggling, don't hesitate to reach out for support. You are not alone and help is available.
Oh, that's a good point. Thank you everyone for listening to us. We hope you will have learned something useful.
There's a voice within you waiting to be heard. There's a song inside you that cannot go unheard. Don't waver or hesitate to take that leap of faith. Ride the wave, don't be afraid. Just come out and celebrate. There's a whole world waiting and more. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There's a whole world waiting and more. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Hello and welcome everyone to our podcast where we will discuss about setting goals and how to deal with anxiety about future planning. I'm your host Ketan and today we'll discover techniques to help us navigate future planning anxiety. Joining me today is Kavyansh.
Thank you for having me, Ketan. I'm excited to be here.
Let's start by taking about the importance of setting goals. Why it is crucial for individuals to have a clear goals in their lives.
Okay, let me tell you. Having clear goals gives us direction and purpose. They provide a roadmap for where we want to go and help us stay focused and motivated. Without goals, we can feel lost or stuck in a rut, unsure of what steps to take next.
That makes sense. But for some people, the ideas of setting goals can be overwhelming, leading to anxiety about the future. How can individuals manage this anxiety and approach goal setting in a healthy way?
One strategy is to break down larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. This not only makes this process less daunting but also allows us to celebrate our progress. Our strategy is to break down larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. This not only makes the purpose less daunting but also allows us to celebrate our progress along the way. It is also essential to practice self compassion and remind ourselves that it's okay to adjust our goals as we grow and change.
That's great advice. So it's not just about reaching the end goal, but also about the journey and the growth we experience along the way.
Exactly. Goal setting is not just about achieving a specific outcome, but also about personal development and self discovery.
Now let's talk about the some practical tips for setting goals effectively. What are some strategies that listeners can use to set meaningful and achievable goals?
Okay, one approach is SMART criteria, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. By applying these criteria to our goals, we can ensure that they are clear, realistic, and actionable. It's also helpful to write down our goals and break them into smaller steps, creating a roadmap for success. Smart goals are indeed a powerful tool for goal setting. Is there anything else listeners should keep in mind as they work towards their goals?
Yes, it's essential to stay flexible and open minded. Life is unpredictable, and our goals may need to evolve as circumstances change. By staying adaptable and embracing new opportunities, we can continue to move forward even in the face of uncertainty.
Wise words. Thank you so much, Ketan, for sharing your insight with us today.
My pleasure, Kavyansh. Thank you for having me.
That's all for today's episode of Forward Focus. I hope you found our discussion on setting goals and managing future planning anxiety helpful. Remember, no matter where you are on your journey, it's never too late to start setting goals and working towards the future you envision. Until the next time, stay focused and keep moving forward. Thank you.
As beautiful moments unfold, will you be there to behold a life so enriching? It's almost bewitching. There's no ocean too wide to cross to the other side. No current too strong that could pull you along. There's no mountain too high that you can't get by. Dreams do come true, it's all up to you. Spread your wings and fly. There's a whole world waiting and more. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There's a whole world waiting and more. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you
Welcome to our podcast where we delve into the depth of life's challenges and uncover the silver lining. I'm your host Parmir Singh, and today we are exploring the theme of finding good in bad. Life is filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, moment of joy and moment of despair. It's easy to get caught up in negative aspects of life, but what if we shift our perspective? What if we look for a good, even in midst of bad? Joining me is Igjot Singh. Thank you for joining us, Igjot Singh. To start off, could you share your with our listeners why it's important to find good in bad situations?
Absolutely. When we are faced with difficulty circumstances, it's natural to feel overwhelmed or defeated. However, finding even the smallest glimpse of positivity can provide us hopes and realizations. It also us to reframe our mindset and approach challenges and sense of strength and determination.
That's so true. It's all about shifting our perspective. Can you give us some examples of how someone might find good in seemingly bad situation?
Certainly, let's take the example of losing a job. At first glance, it may seem like devastating setback. However, it could also be an opportunity for a personal growth and career exploration. It might prompt someone to pursue passion they have had or to resist their careers goals and priorities. In this way, what initially appeals negativity can ultimately lead to positive changes and growth.
It's amazing how refraining our thoughts can completely change the way we view a situation. Now, how can listeners start to cultivate this mindset of finding good in the bad?
It starts with practicing gratitude and mindfulness by focusing on the things we are thankful for. Even during tough times, we train our brains to seek out the positive. Additionally, surrounding ourselves with supportive network of friends and family can provide encouragement and perspective when we are struggling to find good.
Wise words, Ikjot Singh. Thank you for sharing your insight with us today. As we wrap up, let's remember that life's challenges are inevitable, but how we choose to respond to them is within our control. By finding the good in the bad, we empower ourselves to navigate even the toughest of time with release and optimism. Thank you for turning in to today's episode of Finding Good in Bad. Join us next time we are exploring more topics in to inspire and uplift. Until then, stay positive and keep seeing good in every situation. Goodbye for now.
There's nothing you can't do, it's all up to you. Mend a broken heart, make a brand new start. 100 बात की एक बात है, दुनिया अब तेरे साथ है. कट जाएगा हर फासला, खुद पे जरा कर हौसला. Now's the time to live your dreams, for life is much more than it seems. There's a whole world waiting there for. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? There's a whole world waiting there for. What are you waiting for? 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 What are you waiting for?
Welcome to the Shedding Light of Depression, where we delve into the complexity of this mental health condition. My name is Kushagra, and today we are exploring the causes and cures of depression. Depression affects millions worldwide, yet its causes remain multifaceted. From genetic predisposition to environmental factors, the root of depression run deep. Joining me today is Kavyansh.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me.
Let's start with the causes. Kavyansh, what are the some common triggers for depression?
Okay, depression can stem from various sources, including genetic factors, traumatic life events, chronic stress, imbalances in brain chemistry, and certain medical conditions. Additionally, social isolation and a lack of social support can exacerbate depressive symptoms.
Yeah, it's clear that depression is a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and environmental factors. So, what about cures and treatments? Are there effective strategies for managing depression?
Absolutely, while there isn't a one size fits all approach, several treatments have shown efficiency. These include psychotherapy, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, that is also called as CBT, and interpersonal therapy, as well as meditation, particularly selective citron reuptake inhibitors, that is also called SSRIs, and serotonin nephrogenic reuptake inhibitors, which is also called SNRIs. Lifestyle changes such as regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep can also complement traditional treatments. Therapy plays a crucial role in treating depression by having individuals identity and challenge negative thought patterns, develop coping skills, and improve interpersonal relationships. CBT in particular focuses on changing disordered thinking and behavior patterns, leading to long term symptom relief.
That insightful. Now, let's discuss the importance of social support in managing depression.
Social support is paramount in navigating depression. Having a strong support network can provide emotional validation, practical assistance, and a sense of belonging, buffering against the effect of stress and isolation. Engaging in meaningful social activities and fostering connections with loved ones can significantly improve mood and overall well being.
Thank you, Kavyansh, for shedding light on the causes of the cures of depression. Before we can wrap up, do you have any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yes, of course. Remember that depression is a treatable condition and seeking help is sign of strength, not weakness. If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional or support group. Recovery is possible with the right support and treatment.
Very wise word indeed. Thank you, Kavyansh, for your valuable insight. And to our listeners, thank you for turning into a shedding light on depression. Remember, you are not alone and there is a hope. Take care until next time. Thank you.
Give advice, you took him suicide. The type of dog that wants to be someone else. She the type of girl that will give it all well, but her mental health makes her wanna die sometimes. She the type of girl that forgets about herself, and she always try to smile even when she wants to cry. She the type of girl that will never ask for help, but she'll always give advice if you're talking suicide. She the type of girl that wants to be someone else, so she covers all her scars, now she ready for the fight. She takes a lot of selfies, but she doesn't know herself. She's very down to earth, but she wants to leave the world. She feels that life is over, cause she's always overwhelmed. She reminds me of myself, and I just hope that she gets help. Cause people see her scars, they don't understand the battles. Just like people see the stars, you don't know how far they traveled. From a kid she was an adult, she had to learn the battle. She's been hiding in the shadows of the trauma she can't handle. Smiles on all the socials, cries behind the photos. If only you could see the things that she doesn't post.
Hello and welcome everyone to our podcast where we will discuss about parenting and child mental health. I am your host Ketan, and today we'll discover techniques to help us navigate future planning anxiety. Joining me today is Ikjot Singh Saini.
Thank you for having me, Ketan. It's my pleasure to be here.
To start, could you shed some light on connection between parenting and a child mental health?
Absolutely. Parenting styles, communication patterns, and emotional environment at home all significant impact a child mental health. Positive parenting practices such as warmth, responsiveness, and consistency, and foster reliance and emotional well-being in children.
That's fascinating. What are some common challenges parents face in supporting their child mental health?
One common challenge is recognizing signs of distress or mental health issues in children, as they may manifest different from adults. Additionally, balancing the demands of work, household responsibility, and parenting can leave parents feeling overwhelmed and less able to provide the support to their children when they need it the most.
It's certainly a balancing act. How can parents promote good mental health habits in their children?
Building open lines of communication is key. Encouraging children to express their feelings and validation and their experiences foster trust and emotional regulation. Additionally, promoting health lifestyle habits such as educate, sleep, balance, nutrition, and physical activity sports overall well-being of the children's.
Great advice. Now let's talk about the impact of technology on child mental health. How can parents navigate this digital age?
Technology can both erect and disrupt children's lives, so it's crucial for parents to set boundaries and model health tech use. Establishing screen time limits, monitoring content, and engaging in offline activities as family can help mitigate the negative effect of excessive screen time.
That's a timely reminder. Lastly, what resources are available for parents, those who may need additional support in nutrishing their children's mental health?
There are various resources available, including pedigree and school counselors and mental health professionals who specialize in working with children and families. Additionally, online forms, parenting classes, and sport groups can available provide valuable guidance and reassure for parents navigating these challenges.
Thank you, Ikjot Singh, for sharing your expertise and insights with us today. And to our listeners, thank you for turning in into nurturing minds. Remember, by prioritizing our children's mental health and well-being, we are helping some shape a brighter future for generations to come. Until next time, take care and nurture those minds.
There comes a time when we don't feel the greatest. We're feeling down, emotions don't feel right. It's so important to check our well-being. In so much darkness, you can still find light. There's always someone you can talk to. There's always someone who cares. can't handle, there's always someone who cares. If you're not feeling the best, just slow it down, take some breaths. Your friends and family can give you support. Take a walk by yourself, it's all about mental health. You have so much to be grateful for. There's always someone you can talk to.
Welcome to Unchanged Minds, where we delve into the complex relationship between addiction and mental health. I'm your host Paramveer Singh, and in today's episode, we will be exploring how addiction intersects with mental health and what steps can be taken to break free from the cycle. Addiction is the multifaceted issue that affects millions of individuals worldwide, and it often goes hand in hand with mental health challenges. Joining me today is Kushagar.
Thank you for having me, Paramveer Singh.
Welcome, Kushagar. Could you start by explaining how addiction and mental health are interconnected?
Absolutely. Addiction and mental health are often coexist and influence each other in complex ways. Individuals struggling with mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, or trauma may turn to substances or compulsive behaviors as a way to cope with their symptoms. Conversely, substance abuse can exacerbate existing mental health issues or even trigger new ones.
That's a crucial point. It's a vicious cycle that can be challenging to break. What are some common signs that someone may be struggling with both addiction and mental health issues?
Yeah, there are several signs to watch out for, including change in moods or behavior, social withdrawal, neglecting responsibilities, and experiencing craving or withdrawal symptoms. It's essential to remember that these signs can vary widely depend on the individual and the substances or behavior involved.
It's important to recognize those signs and often spot what approaches or treatment have been effective in addressing both addiction and mental health concerning stimulously.
Integrated treatment approaches, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, known as CBT, and dialectical behavior therapy, known as DBT, have shown promise in treating co occurring disorders. These approaches focus on addressing both the addiction and underlying mental health issues, helping the individual develop the healthier coping machine and skill for managing trigger and cravings.
That sounds like a holistic approach to recover. How can individual and loved ones support someone who is struggling with addiction and mental health challenges?
It's a crucial approach. The individual may compassion, empathy, and understanding, encouraging them to seek professional help and offering support in finding treatment option can make a significant difference. Additionally, fostering open communication and creating a supportive environment can help individual feel less isolated and more motivated to seek up.
Absolutely. Creating a supporting network is key. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or advice for our listeners?
Yeah, sure. Recovery is possible and no one has to face addiction on mental health challenges alone. If you are or someone you know is struggling, reach out for help. These are resources and support available to assist you on your journey to healing recovery.
Thank you, Kavyansh, for sharing your insight with us today. Remember, you are not alone and there is hope for a brighter future. Until next time, take care.
There's a voice within you waiting to be heard. There's a song inside you that cannot go unheard. Don't waver or hesitate to take that leap of faith. Ride the wave, don't be afraid. Just come out and celebrate. There's a whole world waiting and more. What are you waiting for? What
Hello everyone, my name is Kushagra
And my name is Ketan.
and we are students of Happiness Center of MIT University. Today we are going to do a small discussion on the topic of cultivation wellness, a comprehensive guide to self-care. Welcome to Cultivating Wellness, your go-to podcast for all things self-care and holistic well-being. I am Kushagra and I am
Ketan Mangla.
hello everyone. We're thrilled to have you join as we embark on a journey nurturing minds, bodies, and spirits through our power of self care. Let's kick things off by exploring what self care truly means. As its core, self care is talking about intentional action to prioritize our physical, mental, and emotional health.
Absolutely, self care is not about indulgence or selfishness, it's about recognizing our inherent worth and taking responsibility for our own well being.
That's right, it's about setting boundaries, listening to our bodies, and honoring our needs without guilt or judgment. Now, move towards the pillar of self care.
Self care encompasses a wide range of practices that supports our overall well being. Let's dive into some of the key pillars of self care.
One important pillar is nourishing our bodies with nutritious food and staying hydrated. Food is a fuel for our bodies, and prioritize healthy eating habits can have a profound impact on our physical and mental health.
Another essential pillar is movement. Regular exercise not only strengthens our bodies but also releases endorphins, which are natural mood lifters.
And let's not forget about the importance of our rest and relax. Getting enough sleep and taking time to unwind are essential for our replenishing our energy reserve and reducing stress.
Let's move on to next practical self care strategies.
Now that we have covered the basics, let's explore some practical self care strategies that our listener can incorporate into their daily lives.
One powerful practice is mindfulness meditation, taking just a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on our breath can help us cultivate a greater sense of presence and calm.
Another important strategy is setting boundaries. Learning to say not to things that drain our energy and prioritize activity that bring us joy is essential for maintaining our well-being.
And let's not understanding the power of self compassion, treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, especially during difficult times, is a fundamental aspect of self care.
Now we move towards the overcoming self-care challenges.
Despite our best intentions, practicing self care isn't always easy. Many of us encounters obstacles that prevent us from prioritizing ourselves.
One common challenge is feeling guilty or selfish for taking time for ourselves. We may worry that we're neglecting our responsibilities or letting down others.
Another obstacle is finding the time and energy to practice self care, especially when our schedules are already packed with communities and obligations.
Now, let's move towards the integrating self care into daily life.
So, how can we overcome these challenges and integrate self care into our daily lives?
One approach is to start small. Instead of trying a awful haul or entire routine overnight, focus on incorporating one or two self care practice at one time.
It's also important to make self care a priority and schedule it into your day like you would any other appointment or commitment.
And don't be afraid to ask for support, whether it's energizing the help of friend or family member or seeking guidance from other therapist or coach. Having a support system can make all the difference.
Now let's begin to listener stories and questionnaire.
Before we wrap up, let's hear some of the listeners about their experience and self-care.
Hi, my name is Ketan, and one self care practice that really helped me is starting each day with a gratitude journal. It's amazing how focusing and on the things I am thankful for can shift my perspective and set a positive tone for the day.
Hey there, I am Alex, and for me, self care means taking a regular break throughout the day to step outside and get some fresh air. It's helped clear my mind and re energize me for the task ahead.
Thank you to our listeners for sharing your stories. We also received some questions from our audience about self care. So let's address a few of those now.
Now, let's move towards the conclusion. Well, there all the time we have today in our episode for cultivating wellness. We hope you have found our discussion on self care helpful and inspiring.
Remember, dear listeners, self care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. By prioritizing our well being, we're better able to show up fully in every aspect of our lives.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, take care of yourself.
Yo, that will give it all well, but her mental health makes her wanna die sometimes. She the type of girl that forgets about herself, and she always try to smile even when she wants to cry. She the type of girl that will never ask for help, but she'll always give advice if you're talking suicide. She the type of girl that wants to be someone else, so she covers all her scars, now she ready for the fight. She takes a lot of selfies, but she doesn't know herself. She's very down to earth, but she wants to leave the world. She feels that life is over, cause she's always overwhelmed. She reminds me of myself, and I just hope that she gets help. Cause people see her scars, they don't understand the battles. Just like people see the stars, you don't know how far they traveled. From a kid she was an adult, she had to learn the battle. She been hiding in the shadows of the trauma she can't handle. Smiles and
Hello everyone, my name is Ketan
Hello, and I am Kushagra.
and we are students of Happiness Center of Amity University. Today we are going to do a small discussion on the topic nurturing your mental health. Welcome to Mind Matters, a podcast dedicated to exploring strategies for maintaining good mental health and well-being. I am host Ketan.
And I am Kushagra.
Understanding mental health. Let's begin by defining what mental health really means. Mental health encompasses our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It's all about how we think, feel, and act.
Absolutely. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and it affects every aspect of our lives, from our relationships to our performance at work or school.
It's important to recognize that everyone has mental health and it's okay to struggle sometimes. What's crucial is learning how to manage our mental health and seek support when needed.
Now we move towards building reliances. Reliances is the key to maintaining good mental health. Its ability to bounce back from adversity, cope with stress, and adapt to changes.
Developing resilience involves cultivating healthy coping strategies, fostering a positive mindset, and building strong social connections.
On the way to build reliance is by practicing self care. Taking care of our physical, emotional, and social needs help us to stay resilient in the face of life's challenges.
Managing stress. Stress is normal part of life, but when left unchecked, it can take a toll on mental health.
That's right. Learning how to manage stress effectively is essential for maintaining good mental health.
One strategy for managing stress is practicing relaxation techniques such as breathing, meditation, or progressive muscle relaxation.
It is also important to prioritize self-care, get enough sleep, eat healthy diet and engage in regular physical activity to help reduce stress levels. Now, let's move towards the nurturing positive relationships.
Our relationships plays a significant role in our mental health and well-being.
Positive relationships provide us support, encouragement and sense of belonging, while toxic relationships can have a negative impact on our mental health.
It's important to nurture positive relationships with friends, families, and loved ones, and to seek help and support when needed.
Now, let's move towards seeking help when needed. It's okay to ask for help when we are struggling with our mental health.
Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness, whether it's talking to a trusted friend or family member, seeking support from a therapist or counselor, or reaching out of a helpline. There are resources available to help us navigate difficult times.
It's important to remember that we are not alone and there is a hope and help available.
Segment 6: Conclusion and Call to Action.
Well, that's all the time we for today's episode of Mind Matters.
We hope you found our discussion on maintaining good mental health helpful and inspiring.
Remember, dear listeners, your mental health matters and it's important to prioritize it just like you would your physical health.
Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
Okay, thank you.
Yo, that will give it all well, but her mental health makes her wanna die sometimes. She the type of girl that forgets about herself, and she always try to smile even when she wants to cry. She the type of girl that will never ask for help, but she'll always give advice if you're talking suicide. She the type of girl that wants to be someone else, so she covers all her scars, now she ready for the fight. She takes a lot of selfies, but she doesn't know herself. She's very down to earth, but she wants to leave the world. She feels that life is over, cause she's always overwhelmed. She reminds me of myself, and I just hope that she gets help. Cause people see her scars, they don't understand the battles. Just like people see the stars, you don't know how far they traveled. From a kid she was an adult, she had to learn the battle. She's been hiding in the shadows of the trauma she can't handle.
Hello everyone, my name is Kavyansh.
And I am Kushagar.
Today we are going to do a small podcast on the topic the essential need for psychiatrist. Now, mental health is a topic that gaining more attraction in recent years, and for good reason. The World Health Organization estimate that 1 in 4 people will be affected by mental or neurological disorders at some point in their lives. Despite this staggering statistic, there's still a significant shortage of psychiatrists worldwide. Today we'll discuss why psychiatrists are so essential and what can be done to address this shortage. Now Kushagar will be telling you the role of psychiatrist.
First, let's understand the role of psychiatrist. Psychiatrists are the medical doctors who specialize in diagnostics, treating and preventing mental illness. They undergo extensive training including medical school and residency to understand the complex interplay between biology, psychology and social factors in mental health. Now we move towards the understanding needs. So why do we need psychiatrist? Well, mental illness can affect anyone regardless of age, gender or background. From anxiety and depression to schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, these conditions can have a profound impact on a person's life, affecting their relationship, work, and overall well being. Psychiatrists play a crucial role in providing evidence based treatments such as therapy, medication management, and other interventions to help individuals manage their symptoms and improve their quality of life. They also work closely with other healthcare professionals such as psychologists, social workers, and primary care physicians to provide comprehensive care.
Now, shortage of psychiatrists. Despite the growing demand for mental health services, there's a significant shortage of psychiatrists in many parts of the world. In some areas, people may have to wait months or even years to see a psychiatrist, leading to untreated or poorly managed mental illness. There are several factors contributing to this shortage. One is stigma surrounding mental health, which can deter medical students from pursuing psychiatry as a career. Additionally, psychiatrists often face heavy workloads and burnout due to high patient demand and limited resources. Impacts of this shortage of psychiatrists on us. The shortage of psychiatrists has serious consequences for individuals and communities. Without access to timely and appropriate care, people with mental illness may experience worsening symptoms, disability, and even increased risk of suicide. Families and caregivers also face challenges in supporting their loved ones without adequate professional guidance. Furthermore, the economic burden of untreated mental illness is substantial, with costs related to healthcare, lost productivity, and criminal justice involvement. Investing in mental health services, including recruiting and retaining psychiatrists, can lead to significant long term saving and improved outcomes for society as a whole.
Now we move towards the addressing the shortage. So, what can be done to address the shortage of psychiatrists? One approach is to increase funding for mental health services and training programs to attract more medical students to the field. This could involve offering scholarships, loan forgiveness program, and other incentives to encourage students to pursue psychiatry as a career. Additionally, expanding the use of and other initiative model of care can help reach undeserved population in remote areas. This allows psychiatrists to provide consultation and therapy sessions remotely, reducing barrier to access and improving efficiency. Now we move towards the end of this podcast conclusion. In conclusion, psychiatrists play a vital role addressing the growing burden of mental illness in our society. However, the shortage of psychiatrists poses significant challenges to ensuring that everyone has access to care they need. By raising awareness, increasing resources, and implementing innovative solutions, we can work toward a future where mental health services are accessible to all. So that's all for today's episode.
Yo, that will give it all well, but her mental health makes her wanna die sometimes. She the type of girl that forgets about herself, and she always try to smile even when she wants to cry. She the type of girl that will never ask for help, but she'll always give advice if you're talking suicide. She the type of girl that wants to be someone else, so she covers all her scars, now she ready for the fight. She takes a lot of selfies, but she doesn't know herself. She's very down to earth, but she wants to leave the world. She feels that life is over, cause she's always overwhelmed. She reminds me of myself, and I just hope that she gets help. Cause people see her scars, they don't understand the battles. Just like people see the stars, you don't know how far they traveled. From a kid she was an adult, she had to learn the battle. She been hiding in the shadows of the trauma she can't handle. Smiles and
Hello everyone, my name is Paramir Singh and
I am Ikjot Singh Sani.
we are students of Happiness Center of Amity University. Today we are going to do a small discussion on topic exploring therapy and treatment options for mental health. Welcome to Finding Healing, a podcast dedicated to exploring therapy and treatment options for mental health. I am your host Paramveer, and joining me today is Ikjot Singh.
Hello everyone. We are excited to reveal into the world of therapy and treatment and discuss how they can support mental health and well-being.
Absolutely. In today's episode, we will be exploring different types of therapy, medication, and other treatment options available for managing mental health conditions. Let's dive in. Understanding therapy.
Therapy, also known as counseling or psychological therapy, is a collaborative process between a therapist and a client addressing emotional, psychological, and behavioral challenges.
There are various types of therapy, each with its own technique and approach. Cognitive behavior therapy, for example, focusing on change negative thoughts, pattern, and behavior.
Other type of therapy include psychological dynamics therapy, which explores unconscious conscious pattern and conflicts, and mindfulness based therapy, which emphasized being present in the moment. Segment 2, exploring medications.
Medication can also play a crucial role in managing mental health conditions, particularly for conditions like depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorders.
Antidepressants, for example, are commonly prescribed to alleviate symptoms of depression by regulating neutralizing in the brain.
It's important to note that medication should always be prescribed and monitored by a qualified healthcare professional, as it can have side effects and may not be suited for everyone. Integrative approaches.
In addition to traditional therapy and medication, there are also integrative approaches to mental health treatment that combine conventional and complementary therapies.
These may include practices such as yoga, meditation, art therapy, and structure which can help support overall well-being and reduce stress.
Integrative approaches recognizing the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit and aim to address mental health and a holistic perspective. Segment 4, Seeking Support.
It's important for individuals struggling with mental health issues to seek support and guidance for qualified professionals.
Therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, and counselors are all trained to provide therapy and treatment tailored to the individual needs.
Supporting group and peer-led initiatives can also be valuable resource for individuals seeking connections and understanding from others who may be facing similar challenges. Overcoming stigma.
Unfortunately, there is still a stigma surrounding mental health treatment, which can prevent some people from seeking the help they need.
It's important to challenge this stigma and promote open conversations about mental health. Seeking therapy or medication is a sign of strength, not weakness.
By sharing our experience and spreading awareness, we can help break down barriers and ensure that everyone has access to the support and resources they need the most. Segment 6, Tips for choosing treatment.
When considering therapy and treatment options, it's essential to do your research and find a provider who is the right fit for you.
Ask questions, seek recommendations, and trust your instincts. A good therapist or healthcare professional will listen to your concern and work collaboratively with you to develop a treatment plan.
Remember that finding the right treatment may take time, and it's okay to try different approaches until you find what works best for you. Now, conclusion and resources.
As we wrap up today's episode, we want to remind our listeners that therapy and treatment options are available and accessible for those struggling with mental health challenges.
If you or someone you know is in need of support, don't hesitate to reach out to a qualified healthcare professional or mental health organization for help.
Remember, you are not alone and there is hope for healing and recovery.
Thank you for turning in to Finding Healing. We hope you found today's discussion informative and empowering.
Be sure to join us for our next episode where we are exploring self-care strategies for managing stress and promoting well-being.
Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Bye for now.
Yo, that will give it all well, but her mental health makes her wanna die sometimes. She the type of girl that forgets about herself, and she always try to smile even when she wants to cry. She the type of girl that will never ask for help, but she'll always give advice if you're talking suicide. She the type of girl that wants to be someone else, so she covers all her scars, now she ready for the fight. She takes a lot of selfies, but she doesn't know herself. She's very down to earth, but she wants to leave the world. She feels that life is over, cause she's always overwhelmed. She reminds me of myself, and I just hope that she gets help. Cause people see her scars, they don't understand the battles. Just like people see the stars, you don't know how far they traveled. From a kid she was an adult, she had to learn the battle. She been hiding in the shadows of the trauma she can't handle. Smiles